Hello, everybody. Reggie Time here, and you join me right at the very start of another 25NL anti-game session on GG Poker. You literally won't have missed a thing. This is the first part. It's the first part of VPIP'd. We did overlimp the Queen Jack on the button, and yeah, the session has literally just started. I'm not going to clip this up and edit it. It's just going to be the full session as we fold the Queen Jack because we're losing to a full house. Um, but I would recommend playing it. Maybe not on double speed. I listened to it back on double speed yesterday, and I'm already quite a quick talker, and it was too fast. But 1.5x speed seems reasonable. And then just slow down for the bits that might be of interest to you. That would be my advice. I'm going to try and keep the conversation going as best I can. But there will obviously be moments of where just nothing much is happening, and I have nothing much to say. We're going to defend the King 9 suited here against the button open. So we're going to 3-bet, or we're going to call. This guy's playing 30/12, so we're not going to 3-bet versus that profile. We completely missed a flop, and we fold. Good news is, yesterday's session got me 18,000 chips in the free roll, for which during my absence, I cashed it this morning for $20. So yesterday was a completely rake-free day, which is nice. This is the following day from Monday's video, but this isn't going out until Wednesday. Not that that matters. Don't really know why I said that. This player is, in my opinion, probably one of the stronger regs in these games. We're going to be 3-betting the pocket queens and getting it in, I guess. Won't be thrilled to get it in, but against someone who I think is a half decent reg, I'm going to assume they're going to have some 4-bets that aren't just kicking the ass of Queen Queen. He's going to 4-bet 6 combos of aces, 6 combos of kings. Probably going to 4-bet 16 combos of ace king and maybe some other stuff. So I think we just have to get it in versus a 4-bet. On this board, what are we going to do with this ace 4 suited? We're going to try an ISO. I think on this board, we're just going to check back our queens. Loved facing turn probe, especially because we've got the Queen of Hearts in our hand. This player can be quite stabby. I don't love the spot, but we're going to call one, obviously. Maybe fold river. Over here, we ISO the ace-4 suited and we get this flop. I think we can check or bet here. I think I'm going to start with a small bet. When he jams river, what's he saying? He's got ace, king, pocket jacks. Well, what do we beat? Do we beat value here? No, probably not. Almost certainly not. Like what bluffs does he have? Do I just need to call this spot? I don't think so. He's basically saying he's got like a set 10-9 jacks. Lots of value, probably not enough bluffs. So I'm going to just let it go. Do feel a little bit dirty about that. But like, he's just have loads and loads of value combos there. He needs to be turning some made hands into a bluff, I think. And I don't think that's happening anywhere near a high enough frequency for me to want to call a pot size bet on the river there with basically a pure bluff catcher. We don't have a value beater. We have a pure bluff catcher. And I suspect, even though we took a relatively passive line, it's still going to be underbluffed. Just try shot on the 7s here and doing so successfully. Folding. to complete the 7-3 suited. Again, ridiculous price on a small blind. Flop a pair, but we won't be looking to invest too much at this precise moment in time, and we're going to invest nothing. I'd rather have like a 4 or a 5 here, so we have a straight draw to go with that pair. 7's kind of useless. We're going to have a vape now. Thank you very much to the gentleman yesterday who I thought was looking after my health by saying I need to give up the vape man. And then he went on to suggest that maybe I vape the green instead. I'm not anti-weed in it. I'm anti some drugs, but not anti-weed. I actually think it's like far less harmful than some other vices as we go for a set man with the 6s. But I've only done weed twice. Didn't like the experience either time, really. My limbs just felt heavy. I just felt totally spaced out. And like, I don't like this. But thanks. If you're watching again today, which I hope you are, thanks for advice. Genuinely appreciate the comment. But yeah, you're not going to get me on the weed anytime soon, brother. It's not going to happen. Pocket 6s here. We called. No, he's checked. Oh, he hasn't checked yet. Sorry, now he's checked. We're just going to bet our hand, get some value from ace highs, some protection against some random overcards like Queen Jack, King Jack, King 10, etc. This guy didn't bet the flop on ace high board. You expect him to bet it at decent frequency. I'm now just going to start bluffing. I go small on the turn and then bigger on the river. Your man's called here. Bad card. Checking. Pretty much just giving up. Can still win against some stuff. Easy for when he bets. Flopping top pair with the 10-9. Flopping second pair with the Jack 10 with the gut shot. So we'll be investing some money, especially versus half pot. Turning 2 pairs on, excuse me, on the top right table. Probably going to go for a check shove. Didn't get the opportunity, and I don't like that river. Can we block for value? I think maybe we can. Just get him to call with all his like pairs, no club. Fold to a raise. Well, that hasn't worked out too well, has it? Fold. Not giving the green tag being salty, just giving the green tag because he's clearly not a regular. My green tag, as I explained in yesterday's video, just means not a reg. And try and ISO the King Deuce suited here versus a button open limp from an obvious fish. Get called, flop bottom pair, backdoor flush draw. Just going to bet the flop. It's pretty mergy. Maybe get some value and also some equity denial. Now the question is, do I want to start bluffing with my deuce on the ace turn? And I think I almost certainly do. Going for the squeeze here with the ace queen top left. Going for the bluff here and then just giving up if called. Do I want to call the ace 9 suited? This guy makes life easy, just donks on the river. Take that. I'm going to call this ace 9 suited. Fish in the big blind probably. Could be a little bit loose, but there's antes in the middle. Fish in the big blind. Got to be worth trying to see 3. You do a lot of bleeding in these games and you just win big pots. That's how I've found these games to be. It's not like when you're playing like 6-max games where most pots just go like heads up and what have you, where you're just like chopping away, hopefully winning more than your fair share of small pots. That isn't really how these games play. Well, not for me anyway. It's more just lots of small investments. Then just hope to win some big pots more often. Do I want to bluff here with my ace nine? I think I do. Again, just for small on the turn and then bluff much bigger on the river. I don't like my chances of this bluff getting through, but we have to try and make him fold. Maybe an 8 or a 7 or like pocket 4s or something, maybe. Pocket 5s. I think this has got limited chance of success, but it does work. I have no real idea what a good strategy looks like in these games. I think just getting in there, playing, and just using your poker rather than having like a predefined strategy. Just get in there, play pretty hands, play good hands. Try not to play too many bad hands. Don't hit call too often. Try not to miss too much value. Try to keep having some bluffs in range and just using your general like, poker sense to navigate rather than the more formulaic way of playing when you're playing in tighter, more reggy six max games. And even if it's not the best strategy, which it almost certainly won't be, it's fun. It's fun to play, which is mostly the reason why I do play poker these days. Fun and a bit of a side income rather than in the past when I've tried to make like a relatively good side income. We flop top 2 pairs here. I'm going to bet quite big up on the top left table. Plenty of worse hands can call, draws, worse like ace X, etc. Maybe just some pairs that don't believe. When I first played these games, I got bogged down with. I went through the process of tagging every player that was playing like 4 or more tables as like some kind of reg, and I kind of got bogged down in that these games are shit. There's too many regs in them, but there's a lot of people who, myself included, probably, who play multiple tables, who aren't anything like crushers. They're maybe just a bit tight. So this guy's playing a 62 VPIP over a small number of hands. We flop top pair. We'll see you at the river, sir. I think we just lead big on this turn and then bet big on the river, assuming the board texture doesn't change too much. Calling the nines, looking for a set. Not getting one, but getting a good shot. Hopefully this guy doesn't bet too big, which he doesn't. We have a trivial call. Turn Jack of Hearts. Question now is, do I consider starting to turn my hand into a bluff if he checks? Or do we have enough showdown value? I think I would probably bluff if he checks. Try and put pressure on some ace highs. So just bet again. I think with a dirty out, even though he's bet small, I think we just fold here. I think he's going to be too mergy. You have too many hands that just have us crushed. Not enough bluffs. And our implied odds aren't very good on making a straight. It'll be a 4-liner. There'll be a potential flush out there, maybe even a 4 flush. I think the prudent option there is just to give our hand up. Open the King 10 suited bottom right and been flatted on the button by a player who I don't have a tag on. The small blind and then the limper calls. A pretty miserable flop for our hand. We won't be c-betting. We might go for a delay c-bet and then river bluff. Oh, maybe we won't because the dude just donks out for a 3/4 pot. I think we can safely fold. We would have turned top pair. And we don't get to see if we'd have had the best hand. I played in the app club I'm a part of last night. It was quite a swingy session. Ended up making a little bit of money. The game was bomb pot game where we had bomb pots every 10 hands double board. Not that fond of that format, to be honest. But actually, most of my profit did come from winning two nice chunky sized pots on double board bomb pots. This ace 2 suited, we're just going to call. We've been 3-bet. Don't want to reopen the betting, get jammed on. And the 3-bet is clearly way too small. From a very recreational looking player, I think we can safely give him the blue tag for the time being. Checking as flush draw. He checks back. Picking up the gut shot. I think we'll just check again. We could have showdown value here against random nonsense. We have a big chunk of equity that I don't want to bet and then be put to the test for a raise. Do we raise here? Has he just got too much King X in range? Do we raise and try and make him fold some merges, etc.? Don't like calling this bet size. I don't love it anyway. I think I'm just going to call though. I think our fold equity is limited against this player type. And we do make the straight on the end. And I think we just have a bet. If he jams, we're just going to chop the pot and pay a lot of rake. But he might call here with 2 pairs. Or even, maybe, yeah, he has to have 2 pairs to call, really, doesn't he? And for us to win the pot outright, it's very few hands he can have that. 2 pairs. He did have 2 pairs, King 10, but he folded it. I think we had to bet the river. He almost certainly wouldn't have bet his hand on the river there. And if he does bet the river, he's just way more likely to have a straight. Maybe he can have some bluffs too that we don't allow him to have when we lead. Well, I think when our hand improves significantly on the river, and we know typically most poker players way under bluff rivers, I think we just lead. Gonna limp the aces here. Very unbalanced limping strategy I have in these games. It's basically just the occasional small pocket pair, and then aces, kings, ace, king, and that's about it. Well, this hasn't worked out very well, has it? Ah, fuck off. And then we flop top set, and there's 5.5 big blinds in the pot. Marvellous. And we're going to bet, and they're just going to fold range. Never mind. I think getting limp raises in this game is particularly good because the ISOs are just so big. And quite often it can go ISO, call, call. Then all of a sudden you just get to limp raise in a pot that has like 20 bigs in it. And then you can just play like a 1 street game post flop. If we do get called, just like, well, I'm all in then, aren't I? Doesn't matter what the flop is. Shut my eyes. I'm all in, brother. I hope to get called, but not snapped. This guy's 40 VPIP with 27 pre-flop raise. We're going to fire a 3-bet in. Not limping the 4s. In fact, when I think about it, my limping range is completely unbalanced to just fucking good hands. And that's it. This guy's done the chip riffle thing. Don't really know what that means. I mean different things to different players. Kick off with a small c-bet. Snap call. Turn queen. I think when we check back here, we're going to face a lot of probes on the river, but do I mind getting check raised here? by trying to fold out hands like pocket sevens. I guess I don't. If we get check raise, we're just pretty much dead, aren't we? So we're not really folding that much equity. Our paired outs won't be live when we get check raise very often. And then it's just do we jam river? I think probably we do. He can still have hands like pocket jacks, pocket nines, 10x, etc. And I don't think we win enough on showdown. So we're going to go for it. Happy days. Happy days. That was a nice one. I mean, maybe we just had the best hand, but feels unlikely that we did. And to remember not to raise 7 deuce in this game. In the app game, 7 deuce bounty is almost always on. And I play it 100% of the time, assuming there's not been a lot of heavy action in front of me. Don't do it in this game, Reg, because there is no bounty. And 7 deuce is a bad hand. Any of you that don't know a lot about poker, given I play with some of you, it's fucking clear some of you don't. 7 deuce is not a good poker hand. Just going for a steal here from the cutoff with the ace 9 off. Why can't we have the ace of clubs rather than the fucking 9 of clubs? Going down this set mine here with the 3s. Checking back the ace 9, and then we'll start doing some delay C betting if given the opportunity. Your man checks again. I think it's going to go like relatively big. As my sizing scheme here. Definitely on the King River. Again, here we're just trying to fold out hands like ace X with a bigger club than us. Some pairs, some under pairs, etc. Try and put some pressure on at 8x. Again, we take it down. Ace 7 suited on the button. I think we're going to flick in 3. And hope for a sea of blue. Do not get that. Do I want to set mine against this stack depth? Probably not, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's one of my all-time favorite Twitter memes, the Barry from EastEnders. It's used a lot in poker circles, and I fucking like it. That is not a set, though. Don't like not having a set. 10-9 suited. Limp from a broken stack under the gun. ISO from someone playing 21-0. Again, we've got this blue tag player. We're seeing 3. Not betting the 3s. Flop a pair and a backdoor flush draw. Start off with a check. Face half pot. King 9 suited. This guy, do I want to 3-bet him with this hand? No. Do I want to see a flop with him? Yes. Calling the 10-9 suited versus half. Just shutting down now on the turn. He bets very quickly again. Same size half pot. I don't think this is necessarily a super strong hand when he bets so quick for half pot. But we got bottom pair. Third pair, and our backdoor equity's dried up, so we'll just fold. Again, that's going to be quite mergy. He might still be betting a king. He could have c-betted ace X, etc. Yeah, I would have liked to see a flop with a 7-6, but not when we have a raise and a 3-bet in front of us. Again, we have this, one of the stronger regs, I think, opening. we're going to be set mining, assuming that we don't see a 3-bet before it gets to us. Nine ball, corner pocket, please, dealer. Boo. Checking. Ace 7-7. If this dude's got a 7, good for him. He's just going to get paid. SPR2, double flush draw board. He's got 35 blinds. I'm going to bet like a third of his stack. And now the question is, do we check and let him bluff missed hearts on the river, let him value on himself with an ace? I mean, we're always losing to a 7. How does he invest most money here? By calling with a worse ace or by bluffing when we check? I don't know. We'll go with the check though. Give him a chance to bluff. Two overs in the back door, flush draw facing donk. Call, obviously calling this. And he did indeed value on himself. Turning top pair on the spade, getting check raised here would be deeply uncomfortable, so we are just going to check back. He can still have some hands like sets, 2 pairs that are either a little bit scared or what have you. We are going to limp the 10-9 suited. This dude blocks river. I think we just have a call and that's it. Nothing else to say. And he, again, value on himself. This ace queen suited, we are going to squeeze up. Top right table. Opening the king 10 suited. Opening the king jack suited. Why didn't this happen when we had the aces? The ISO and the 3-bet. It's disappointing, but we only lost 1 blind. Whatever. King jack, we are going to start with a bet. I think we're going to check the ace queen suited. 8 on the turn, not too worried about the 8. We're going to size up. Your man now here bets. And the question is, do we call, do we raise? I think we're just going to run it, I think, for 40 bigs. And we're ahead. If it was a bigger pot, I would have just cashed out because I'm a fanny. Wish I had because he's just got there now. Well, I'm not cashing out in like an 80 blind pot. 200 blind pot, yeah, I'm all over it. 80 blind pot, no, we'll just run it. This guy's clearly a whopper, so he gets that tag. Just limp calling the 11x with the queen 10-0. Not a play I would advise or recommend. 2 limpers here. We have king jack on the button. We're going to pop it up. Jack 8 suited. Just going to fold. Over limp, then back raise. People really over limping aces here. Shouldn't let it go, but I'm not convinced that's a strong hand, but we only have king jack, so I mean, I wouldn't be folding a hand like ace queen there, or like a hand like pocket tens, etc. I'd just run those. I think king jack just doesn't do very well at all versus a limp raise. We're behind to just too many hands that would head up with like ace queens and tens, nines, etc. You'll already know this by how long the video lasts, but I'm planning on playing probably for maybe another hour and a half, which will make this a very long video, which is not popular with the YouTube algorithms, but I fucking don't care. As I've said many times, this YouTube channel is just an old man's hobby. I don't care that I'm not playing the YouTube game properly by like not creating shorts, etc., etc. Big bet with the ace 10. I'm going to check back on the 9 because I think A, he can have some 9x sometimes, and B, he can now bet the river with like worse ace-x. And then we get to decide whether to raise or not. Versus half. I think I'm just going to wimp out and call. He had a complete airball, which is nice. Check back, got us some money there. And he's left. He has left the building. Not sure what full-size pot bet on that board's appropriate, but your man went for it, and I didn't buy it. $10-9-0 in the small, getting like 5-1 pods. I think that we have relatively poor equity in this spot and a really poor equity realization, so we're just going to fold, even though we're getting good odds pre. There's a lot more in it to win it in these games. It's a phrase that Pete Clark's been coining recently on his YouTube, and I think it's a very appropriate philosophy in these games. Just in it to win it. Again, here we've got a very bad hand. We're getting insane odds this time. We still have like poor realizability or poor equity realization, but getting close to 10-1 odds pre with a hand like Queen 10 off. Got a lot of reverse implied odds, but we're not going to play big pots with marginal hands. So it doesn't really matter. I think the reverse implied odds aren't as much of a thing with a hand this bad. I think with these games, you just got to open your mind to doing poker differently to what many of you have been brought up on. There'll be lots of players now who've been playing for 5 or 6 years who only know like one way of playing, and that is like the solver way or the solver, not maybe like trying to mimic solvers rather than actually trying to play a solver approved way. I think like these games definitely need some soft skills that I think some of the new generation haven't developed. Check or bet here. I just want to start building the pot, I think. You can definitely fold some better hands. We have a shit ton of equity when called. Not going to double barrel on the four. Oh, jeepers creepers. What are you doing, sir? We have no fold equity here. That's one thing to be certain of. And we're not getting the correct pots to draw. So we're just going to fold and be pretty sad about it. I think these games, like, for an old experienced player like me, they're more fun than typical online reggie 6-max games. They're just more fun. Is my win rate comparable in them? Probably. But it's not just about win rates for me now. It's about enjoying it too. Like, I really enjoy the app games in the night time. I know just one tabling, but I just really enjoy them. I really enjoy playing these games, even though I know I'm getting pre-rate back. I'm getting absolutely fucking raped on the rake. But then the rake back comes in and it's not too bad. And I just enjoy it. Just calling the Queen Jack suited here. Keep the limper in. Pocket 8. Just going to fold to the 3-bet. 200 big steep I would call. I think with a gut shot and a backdoor flush draw here facing this small bet, I'm actually going to try a cheeky little raise. Try and represent the sets. 9s and 6s. So we get rid of him and keep him. And we get a turn card that I have almost zero interest in barreling. He's snap called too. He's going to have King X flush draws. I think sets take more time deciding what to do. He can also have some 9x, I guess. I mean, we're at stone bottom of range here, but do I want to bluff? I mean, we can still just win here against stuff like 7-8, 10-7, 10-8. And I think bluffing wouldn't have much of a high degree of success, even though we are literally got one of the worst hands we're going to have here. Maybe it's a mandatory bluff. If he had more chips, I maybe would have bluffed, but he just got like an all-in stack, hasn't he? Obviously, we're just going to fold. Didn't like the snap call. He's gone like raise, check, raise, snap. That's a man with an easy decision. It's a man with a flush draw or with like a top pair type hand. I think it's just a bad spot to bluff once he snap calls on the flop. Even though we land on the river with like kind of a mandatory bluffing hand candidate, I think given the way the hand went down, the speed at which it went down, I very much doubt the bluff makes money there on the river. Up here we have, we're surely the only player here with like a set of queens, ace, king. I'm going to bet this board, multi-way. Obviously, our hand has no showdown value. We do have some fold equity here, I think. And we obviously have some pot equity because we can make the best hand. We can make the nuts. So we're going to have a bluff. I'm going to go for a delayed bet on this turn. If this is played, if it checks again, we're just going to be able to win the pot quite easy by betting twice, I think. On this turn card, I'm going to go for a check shove. Ace, king, max doing a check shove. My flush draws do pocket jacks, pocket queens. I think check shove is better than just betting. He snap checks back, which is quite annoying. And I think we definitely have to bluff the river. And we check it down again. Check it down up here. I am bluffing everyone's fucking socks off today. How many times have I bluffed you? What? I've never seen a video of mine where I bluff so fucking much. Reggie Stain. That's what Easty wants christened me, or something like that. Bluffing everyone's fucking, bluffing them out of their fucking socks. An animal. Beast, if you will. A behemoth of the fucking 25 and L anti-streets. guy's definitely worthy of blue tag, not green. I'm going to flat the button with the king nine suit. I just want to be in pot with this guy. It's not a very good hand, but still doing well versus his range. We're in position. We're a better player than him. Feels like the sort of hand we want to be playing. Easy call versus half. He sizes up on the turn. Might be too loose. But he bets so quickly on the turn. Like he just relatively thoughtless bet. Now he tanks and jams river. Again, the question, like, do we beat value? No. Not enough value. Do we beat bluffs? And if so, what do those bluffs look like? I think we're going to fold this one. We just don't pay off rivers in these games. I think as we said in Monday's video, we can do a lot of like call with like merge beaters on flops and turns. And then on rivers, when people do a pretty bad job of polarizing, I think we can just lean heavily on the overfolding. And we'll probably do just fine. Maybe that turn call is bad. If we're going to fold on a river break, maybe it's bad. But, well, I think a lot of people would say, we can't call that turn and fold that river. But ranges just change so much, in my opinion, especially from bad players, where they will just like merge, give up a lot, or merge, try to bluff catch. And then when they go like bet, jam, I think the range is just going to be like super heavily weighted towards value, whereas bet, check is going to be merges, it's going to be bluffs that are giving up, etc. So I don't hate the way I played the hand. I mean, they could argue we just don't need to be in the hand. We could just argue that folding pre or folding turn, but I'm okay with what I did. Didn't work out, never mind. Picking up the jacks, don't want to limp raise them, so I'm just going to open them. And we open the 8, see we get called in 2 spots, easy check. Again, we're ahead of merges here, we're ahead of draws, we just have to call, see what happens. Versus half pot, stab on the flop. Jack's no club, not loving it. This guy looks like a reg of some description. This looks like someone trying to value bet a 10 to me. Can we take them off it? We're going to try. Try and take someone up a 10. It shouldn't have too much Queen X, apart from like Queen X has made 2 pairs. He does fold. I mean, maybe he's trying to value bet a 7-2. Maybe he's just airballing, who knows. But when I see that size, my opinion was like it's someone trying to thin value bet or just randomly bluff. We can maybe make them fold some of their thin value on a card that makes top pair from the flop now second pair or worse, or second pair, third pair, etc. That was maybe just unnecessary, but I enjoyed it. This dude gets there on the river and checks back after betting the flop, and very strange way of playing the hand. 2 queens, 28 VPIP with a 90. Is that 19? Yeah, 19%. We're going to 3-bet the queen to value here and be sad about getting it in if we do get jammed on. Pick up the cold call from somebody playing 22.19, so another reg. We get a pretty disappointing flop. I'm just going to go for a check jam here. Don't want to bet, get called, and deal with bad turn cards. Just check jam. If we beat, we beat. We do have some backup with the backdoor clubs and the gut shot. I'm just going to play this relatively simply and just make life easy for myself. Three betting the ace king suited. Yeah, we're all in. I mean, there's every chance this dude has like any one of the sets. Very comfortably can have any one of the sets. We might just be punting into like a really strong range here, but I'm doing it anyway. I'm afraid of the snap. That's good news. Come on, dude. Is it a slow roll? Is he just having a funeral for his hand? What's going on? He does call with a jack 10. Get that fucking cash out in my fucking veins. Get that cash out in my veins. And then let him get there. Oh, he got there all right. Go on, you big cash out. Fucking love to see it. Going to bet small with our flop flush. That is a ridiculously shit turn card. It either beats us or kills our action. Fuck you, the four of spades. We just don't get called by it. I think it's too thin to value bet here. We get called by the eight of spades? How does he even have the eight of spades? Yeah, a bad run out. We probably get at least two streets, maybe three from the ace jack on a clean run out. Maybe that was a weak check back from me, but it felt too thin. Love me that cash out over there. Fucking love me getting that cash out right. Well, not getting it right, that's the wrong way of putting it, but I like it when a cash out works out. I don't hate it when it doesn't. Whatever, just give me my equity. Have your 1%. Let's all get on with our days. So we've ISO'd here. We've been 3-bet by someone playing 17/8 over just 12 hands. I think this is just going to be uber nutted. Uber nutted. I think we have pretty bad equity. We're just going to hit the 4 button now. We have pretty bad equity with this hand versus a 3-bet from someone who might be a reg. They're going to have like ace, king, ace, queen, aces, kings, queens, jacks. All those hands dominate us. Do they have many worse hands in range? Maybe, but even they have recent equity against us. It just feels like a bad spot. Not taking it. Might check raise here against Tony Straddle with the ace-6 suited. Depending on size, he just checks back, not stabbing the turn king. Like he's pretty capped when he checks back, and then when the king comes, he's like somewhat uncapped again. Don't think River Probe's going to work very well here. I think we're just going to get stationed by a lot of stuff. Like that, for example. I think we have like close to 0 forward equity versus that hand. We've opened, we've been squeezed on the button by someone playing 11/9. We'll say bye-bye to the 9s. Glad to see we would not have made a set. Flop me something good, dealer. Second pair on a fucking paired board. Wasn't what I ordered. Got a free upgrade, but I'm still checking. And I suspect I'm going to value bet the river for a block size here. We only chop against Jack X. We lose to Ace X. He's betting to 2 players. Fold. And we would have chopped with this guy. We would have beat this guy. If we call, maybe he folds, then maybe we do win the pot. Didn't expect to see many bluffs there. Fair play to him for finding one. Check raising or check calling here, depending on sizing. He doesn't actually bet. Do I want to set mine here? I'd want to be in pots against this guy. If we get squeezed, so be it. Dude now finds a bet. We are chopping with all ace X except ace 8 and ace king. We river the flush. And the question is check raise or donk. I don't think I want to check raise, so we'll go with the donk. Looking for a 9 ball in the corner pocket again, please, dealer. Oh, just taking it down, that's fine. Picking up 5 bigs for that fight. It's always fine from the sofa. I suppose you can do a little bit of spamming at this point, because if you're 55 minutes into a video, it's obvious you have some interest in me and maybe have a little bit of faith in me. If you do want to join the app club I'm in, the games are pretty soft. I'm not keen to flood it with nits, but if you do want to join and you are a casual player, if you're a reg, it's just not going to suit you, because I played 4 hours last night and got about 290 hands in, something like that. So if you're a reg, it's not going to suit you. If you are a casual player, and you want to play in some soft games and some soft tournaments, you can find me via the Discord link or the Facebook link beneath the video. Join one of those or both of those communities. Drop me a message and I'll tell you how to get in. There is no rate back at the moment. I'm working on that, but there is no rate back at the moment. But they do give around £1,000 a week away in various giveaways. In like last night, for example, the 350 guaranteed, 350 added money tournament for a £10 tournament. Today there's another £100 added to the tournament. They're also running a little cash game promotion, a small one that's worth £100. And then they do other various freebies and giveaways through the week. Like they'll just give people a few quid to start a cash table, etc. So there's no actual rate back, but there are rewards there. And your truest reward is that you just get to play in a game with people who don't really know how to play No Limit Hold'em. Or if you're a 6-card PLO savant, you get to play in games where people don't know how to play 6-card PLO. There isn't really a good player on the site except me, if I'm being completely honest. Oh, apart from some of the players I brought in. That's not fair. There are some players I brought in who were quite good, but they are not representing a particularly large portion of the group. Don't want to limp the Ace King or raise it. I don't really want to limp, get it in for 150 bigs, so we'll just raise. We do face a 3-bet from someone who we don't know anything about, but they're a green tag. Going to be a very tight range. We're not remotely interested in 4-betting and play per stacks here, but I am interested in seeing a flop. Not that flop. There was other flops I was more interested in seeing than that one. Richard 1/3. I think we have a pretty easy continue. Spence seems sized up significantly on this turn if he is going to bet. And he does, and now we just have an easy fold. Ace Jack, 2 overs, backdoor flush draw, etc. Call versus small bet. Versus Queen versus small bet again, we're definitely going to raise. And then probably bluff some rivers. What size do I want to go? I'm going to go a slightly larger size, be a bit more polar. Versus his small bet. I think like his really good hands don't want to use his size on the turn. And he folds. We would have absolutely bluffed the fuck out of that river card. Bet size equals hand strength is a pretty solid read against most low stakes poker players, and maybe even higher stakes, who knows. When he just like bets that turn again for 1/3 pot, his good hands just don't want to do that. They just don't want to take that size. So I think we have like a reasonable spot to just attack the sizing. And just make him fold a lot of his merges or put him into a spot with a lot of his merges. I mean, maybe we just had the best hand. Limp 4x call. How are we going to proceed with that ace queen here? We're going to proceed by folding. Oh, we've got some extra money down here. How much? $3.12. Thank you very much. Easy fold versus somebody who's currently rocking a 5% VPIP, albeit only over 20 hands. We would have completely whiffed. Shout out to my friend, my online friend Swag, by the way. Any of you who watch this and know Swag, you probably ought to be aware, but he finished 4th, I think, in a live tournament at Dusk Till Dawn yesterday. I think it was like a WPT Prime event. Think from memory, cash for like 19,000. He did make the most absurd fold, in my opinion. I mean, he's a far better tournament player than me, but he opened ace king. He got jammed on by the big stack, and he folded when he was third in chips with somebody on a pretty short stack in. So like probably a grim ICM spot for him. But he bizarrely asked for a count when the guy had him out chipped about 4-1. I'm not sure what that was about. But I enjoyed it pissing the person off who he asked for the count. I think maybe he just asked for the count to maybe try and get a live read or to give yourself more thinking time because they don't take time banks off you when you're asking for that count. I haven't asked him why he was in the tank. And definitely asked him why he folded. But yeah, it's still a very nice score for him though. 19,000, his biggest ever cash. Good lad, Swaggy. Although we will be needling you forever in Discord about the fold because that's just what we fucking do. It's just what we do. Been squeezed here by a reggish looking player. 8-9's just in dreadful shape. We don't get good implied odds because the squeeze size is so big, so we're just going to fold. I don't know if these 9-8 suited opens are any good, really, but they're pretty, aren't they? So we're playing them. Maybe these are hands we could pop into a limp call range. There's just like plenty of dead money out there free to try and take down. I mean, when you raise to 3 blinds, you have to win the pot so often pre-flop. So little, pre-flop to make the open profitable. And we have a super easy, very small c-bet on the table with the 9-8. Get instantly check raised. Good for you, sir. We're only 117 bigs here, so we are going to go for a limp raise with the ace king. Try to get it in pre. I'd like someone else to volunteer some chips into the pot here before we spring our trap to trap some more dead money or potentially dead money. Can't limit shove. It's just not enough blinds in the middle for the limit shove. Only 14 bigs. I don't think we can anyway. But we can do this. And then just run it if we get jammed on. C-bet range if we get called, I guess. Going to bet a quarter here. Maybe not even a quarter, maybe 20%. King 9 suited. A bit loose, but we're going to open it. Turn here, we have 80 bigs left. We're going to bet like 25 and then shove the river. Cash me the fuck out. Get there, sir. Get there. He did not get there. That feels highly ambitious calling that hand versus a limp re-raise to 25 big blinds. So that's we're 1 for 2 in the cash out streets. Totally lost focus on this, Sam, but I wouldn't have seen it this board multi-way anyway. Oh, fuck, and now just click call. What a blunder. That clearly wasn't what I meant to do. I've just been rambling and ranting away and just torched off fucking 10 big blinds. What a fucking moron you are, Reg, you fat idiot. Fuck's sake, Reg. Although that 4 deuce call from the small blind, you can definitely go in the fish tank. Let's have a little limp with the kings. I mean, ISO'd. Not the result we want to see when we get ISO'd. We want to see bigger ISOs than that because we're going to be turning our hand face up in a moment, but not very much. Jack's here versus a good player who's ISO'd. We're just going to call. Not looking to get Jacks in pre for 150 big blinds. This is more like it. This is more like it. We're still the call. We've had the 3-bet. We're going to be going multi-way to this flop, or we're going to be all in pre, I guess. Calling this turn pro, but not loving it. Value betting this river with our jacks. Checking back the queens. Beating a give up. Calling the 9s. That is a fucking diabolical flop. We have pot left, and I don't like it. I really don't like it. I really, really, really don't like it. We're just going to be dead here so often. Never mind. They wouldn't have got there. They're going to leave this table 170 bigs deep now. Don't want to be this deep. Good player here. So we're going to hit and run, baby. I'm going to squeeze these 10s. And run it, I guess, versus the 50 big blinds. I mean, this dude had the 4 deuce earlier. This dude's just coming along. Please go all in so I can rejam. Please go all in, Kobe. Oh! Now we're going to need to hit a 10. Oh, dear. Dearie me. This dude just loves hitting the fucking bet button. Definitely a non-reg. I mean, with a diamond, it's kind of awkward. He's bet half pot. I mean, we could just be stone dead. Oh, fuck off. Who knows what that show means? Who knows what that show means? But we've not done well on our pre-flop limp raise and then our pre-flop squeeze on this table. We've done about, 40 blinds off. Not even managed to see a turn. Maybe more than 40 blinds, maybe 50 blinds. Not even seen a fucking turn card for our investment. But that's the game. shouldn't do this to myself. I like it when I miss, but when I would have hit, I'm like, fuck off. Why did I do that? But I think when we open relatively early position and get 3-bet by the next seat, like 8's just going to be in rough shape. Jack 9 off, bit of a loose open from the cutoff. Start with a little tickler. Just a little probe. See what's going on. Fucking hell, this guy. This guy. It doesn't take long to act, does he? I mean, again, it doesn't matter. We've got a rubbish hand, but just give me something that I don't have to fold to him, please, dealer. Getting absolutely fucking routed on this bottom table. Routed. Here we go again. Come on, come along. Let me flop a set. Boo. We have flopped a set, though, which is good news. Flopped a gut shot and a backdoor flush draw up here, so we've got some interesting situations. You know, just keep betting here, and we don't want to get raised. I'm going to raise this hand because I think we can like use their stacks against each other as like leverage to give us a bit more fold equity. And we're all in on this river. I quite like this concept of like these two are both a lot deeper with each other, so he needs to be wary of him. So he can't just like get out of line here and just like try and run it with weaker hands. We turn some equity. I think we're just going to bet small here and then cry call off. Yeah, time to get there. We might be dead. I mean, I doubt it, but we might be dead. We're not dead. Let's see if he wants to run it twice. Yep, just let me win one. I'll be happy with that. That's not a win. That's not a win. Boo. Boo, boo, boo. Rivering a full house over here, and there's no money in the pot. I am going to go for a check raise. Instantly checks back. Fair enough. So I think that Queen 10 suited will have made us a loser for the session now. But I'm enjoying myself, so who cares? I actually quite like the line I took. I don't think we want to jam on the Queen on the 9 turn. I think like we have much less value when the 9 pairs to turn. I think like betting small there. Because that's what I'm going to want to do when I've got like full house, 9x, etc. betting small there and just cry calling off versus over pairs is going to be okay. Maybe we can just fold on the turn when he jams, but we've got like a flush draw and a gut shot. And probably once I think we kind of painted ourselves into a corner. Maybe we can just jam. Don't know. I mean, it's not going to change that because that hand is calling with the aces no matter what. And once he calls a flop check raise, we're probably in trouble. And I would have given up without turning the extra equity. And we're going to probably just bet small again this turn. Just bet like 8 blinds, 7 blinds, like a third of his stack. He's all in. He's drawing dead. Going to fold this turn card. Second pair versus big size double barrel versus under the gun. Not playing four-handed, so we'll leave in a moment. Try a little cheeky little limp with the 8-7 suited. Get ISO'd, get a cold caller. Do I want to put this into a limp raise range? 23-13, probably not. Bad flop. Maybe limp calling that hand's bad. I don't know. Maybe we should just. In fact, it's just a fold, isn't it? It's a pretty one, but I just don't think it's going to perform well enough. Maybe that's a mistake. I don't think it can be a huge mistake. I don't think we're losing a ton of EV because we just have a pretty one. But I think probably we're just too early position. I think start hand you want to play late position for a raise. I think. Do I want to try and bluff my hand now against two opponents? Nah, not gonna. I think I've already made a mistake in the hand. I'm not going to compound that mistake by committing more chips on a board, but I can't really rep anything. Or maybe just that's a complete butcher pre. Maybe it's just a complete butcher of a hand. In fact, not maybe. It's just a badly played hand, wasn't it? It didn't feel, the minute I limped, I'm like, this doesn't feel fucking good. So we'll abandon the limping, the suited connector strategy immediately. They just have really quite poor equity, I think, versus isolation ranges. You're never going to be in a really good spot, and then you're relying on people significantly misplaying their hand post flop. Yeah, in it to win it down the set mine, the bottom middle table, table 5, if you will. Oh, aces. That's going to cheer me up a little bit, I hope. Queen 4 suited. Do we want to be in it to win it here? King 4 suited, yeah. Queen 4, I'm not going to. Folding here versus 1/3. I think it's going to be very mergy. 8.4 big blind ISO. We only have 100 bigs to start the hand. We're going to megaphone that we have a good hand by 3-betting to a price where he probably won't want to fold. The megaphone is out. Hello, mate. I've got aces and exactly aces. Please don't fold. He does anyway. The megaphone was fucking out there, wasn't it? On the mini phone, maybe. Maybe it's a mini phone. Hi, mate. Good hand alert. Good hand alert. Please put some more money in. Fucking idiot, Reg. Fucking idiot. But I didn't want to make it like 24 there or something because I think it's. I mean, is that less of a megaphone making it 24? Can we have like some more hands that are looking for fold equity in our 24? Probably. Maybe 24 was the number. Maybe 24 was the number. I don't pretend to be good at these games. I just enjoy them. Enjoy them. Try not to lose, and take what he gives you. That's the goal in these games. Have fun. Try not to do your bollocks, and just take what comes your way. I say I'm pretty sure it's going to be a losing session. Not a huge losing session because we did have like some stacks at other tables at some point. I think we had like 70 blinds on this table profit and then left and then made another 30 something, didn't we? So it's going to be a huge losing session. And we still got like 40 minutes to go. Some good things can still happen. I'm going to box someone's lugs. You. Get in your lugs box. Right in the middle of a pot as well. Go on. You're right in the middle of a tough decision. You haven't got long left. And I'm throwing a fucking boxing glove at you. Maybe that's what you should save these for. Like, try and keep them as long as you can. And then when the guy you want to target is in maybe a spot, distract them. Just out of pure fucking spite. Because I am a spiteful guy. Got a nasty streak running through me. I don't try and show it on the internet, but I do have a nasty streak running through me sometimes. Like when certain things happen in America on Sunday nights, when certain people are playing golf and somebody tries to do something naughty and fails, I sometimes might think, fucking hell, just do it right, man. You know? And that's not a nice thing to think, is it? It's not a nice thing to think about anybody. But I do. And quite honestly, I fucking mean it. But if that were to happen, who would protect all the cats and dogs that are getting eaten? So maybe it's best that it doesn't happen. Save the dogs and the cats. Going back to opening these hands, fuck folding them. They're just too pretty. Gut shot, backdoor flush draw, and a good board for range. Kick off with a bet. Oh, it's this fucker who just smashes raise buttons, isn't it? Turn card stinks. Betting it anyway. That's a river. 87 bigs. Do we want to jam or do we want to check jam? Or bet small. I think I like bet small. Might induce jam. Might get some loose calls. Happy days. Limp, over limp, over limp, ISO, call. This feels like a really good time to see a 9-ball corner pocket. The third time I've asked for a dealer. Surely you have a 9-ball out there for me this time. Nope. Oh, it's disappointing. I mean, it's a quarter pot. It's a quarter pot. What? Sorry, 1/3 pot. And I can't call with this many people behind. tuning people behind the guy who I sawed still to act. It's not a good spot. Here we're going to check and then we're going to bluff turn river. If he continues checking, try and make him fold a hand like Queen X, Jacks, Tens, better ace highs like Ace Jack, Ace 10, etc. He does go with small bet and we're just going to fold. Been watching a lot of Spraggy lately. The poor fuck's still just having a miserable W coup. But I do like the way he streams. I think some of his the way he words things is rubbing off on me a little bit. I've said a couple of times to people, is that something you might be interested in, for example, which is very much a phrase that's been coined by Spraggy. Do like the guy. I hope he has a big score at some point. He had a chance of one last night and then just lost a big spot. He had a chance of I think he got to the final 8 or so of a 215 6 max. And then just lost a big spot. He is running pretty bad and it's started to show him a little bit. But the Purple has got to keep going. He's a Stars ambassador and he's W Cooper. He's just got to keep going. Probably whether he wants to or not. But I think he's got a lot of heart and I think he's up for the battle, isn't he? I've done the set man with the fives. Fuck my ass. Just not making a set. A board that we can do very little to counter his probable range bet on. Another trip down the set mine. My red line is fucking very likely to be completely atrocious. Another swing and a miss. I think we'll have a little 3-bet with this A6 suited versus a blue tag. Try to avoid going multi-way as often with a fun player. Don't like this board for c-betting too much in a 3-bet pot. I think we're going to get raised a little bit too often for my liking versus like made hands that want to protect. I think we'll just have a go at bluffing river. Do we have to turn our pair into a bluff? A stab here on the turn with our ace-3 suited. I wish I hadn't. I wanted to bluff this river. Now we've made a pair and it's brought a 4-liner in. We've been raised here, which is not fun. $31.6. So the guy's just got a good hand. We just have to call and try and make a club and then get the rest. How much more is there? 86 to go in this pot. So that's 140. Plus his call. Yeah, I think we just have to call and try and spike. We did not. Maybe that's just bad. I just think we had like good implied odds there on a club. I think we just jam the river on a club and just get all the money. Yep. Session started quite well, but since then we've just been getting binned to fuck. We could be at risk of like not being able to top up here. How much chips do we have behind? Oh, we got plenty behind still. We're all right. Although we are significantly losing given what I've just seen in that balance. We have maybe a couple of buy-ins down. Maybe it's worse than I thought. We have $38. We've got 150 at the table plus maybe 180 at the table. Oh, fucking hell, we could be down more than 2 buy-ins. That's disappointing. Another drop. Another $3.16. Folding the king queen. I've enjoyed this session, but results are not going to be good. I think I've been a little bit sloppy, to be honest. I think I've been enjoying it a little bit too much. Not really been zoned in. And I could just also have a very bad strategy. I'm not ruling that possibility out. And we haven't picked up any free roll chips either. I can't remember what our rate back was on the last session. I think it was about, maybe we made $5 in rate back too. $4 or $5 plus the other odds and sods. Right, half an hour to go, Rich. Let's try and lock in some focus. I mean, I can't complain with how the games have been. The games have been good. Shame my level of play hasn't matched the quality of the game. We haven't too many chances to steal, have we? Most pots are opened in some capacity before it gets to us on the button and the small blind. We've just had so few attempts to like just steal the pot from a late position. 3-bet here. And you have a pretty unplayable hand. And unsurprisingly, we would have missed a flop. We have missed a lot of flops, to be fair, or been left with like plenty of marginal situation. But I think that's just the nature of these games. You just like bleed. Then, you know, a few coolers or good spots come in, and you get it all back with a bit extra, hopefully. Maybe these hands just aren't flats. I'm going to go for a little race here with our backdoor stuff and maybe get some folds. We do. You wanted to call. Glad you never, sir. Because I had cock in hand as usual. An awful lot of cock in hand in this session, isn't there? Let's see, 3. Oh dear. We've just got our cock in hand again. We don't have any good hands. We just have cock in hands. And for the very few people who've seen my cock lifetime, they'll know that isn't much of a holding. Do we want to play the ace jack offsuit versus somebody playing 43-14? I think we probably do. Another fish in the big blind, probably. Nut flush draw. Could donk here, I think. Could check raise. Which do I prefer? I think I prefer check raise versus these stack depths. This guy, 71 repip, he certainly is. Gonna run it against him. Surely can't be in too bad shape. Although 71 VP can just have a hand like fucking 10-6 of diamonds here or whatever you. Just gonna run it. Fuck it. I'm gonna take it down. Nice. Oh, we would have got there. Not nice. I think my VP has been too high this session too. Looking around the tables, we're in the high teens, 20s, etc. I suspect in this game you maybe want to be having somewhere between I don't know, an 18-ish VP, somewhere around that region. And I think I have not been close to positionally aware enough. I think I've probably made too many loose opens from early position. I've just been indisciplined. And I've looked at the pre-flop ranges for full ring, not with anti. I think anti changes things quite a lot, but I'm definitely opening hands early position that are not opened in a full ring non-anti format, which I think is probably okay because there's more dead money out there to win with your opens. But as you've seen, there just isn't a lot of raise and take it pre in these games. So who knows? That was a very quick bet. If it was 10-10 king, I would consider check raising. I think on king 10, I'm just going to fold. I think maybe there's still a little bit too much six max player in me in these games. Like I'm a pretty relatively tight six max player. I think maybe I need to do more work. I don't like doing work on poker anymore though. I like to just enjoy it. I think I'm probably need to do a little bit more work on my pre-flop ranges from like the non six max seat. I think once we get into the six max seats, I think what I'm doing is going to be just about okay. But from like the non six max seats, maybe that's where I need to do some work. But it's going to take me ages to get a sample so I can analyze like how I'm doing from every position. And I'm not sure about these calls too. I mean, I'm going to call again here because we're just getting such good odds pre, but I don't know if I'm just bleeding way too much. Well, we've already got an ante, and we're already in for one blind in this hand. It's only asking us to put another like two blinds in. But then it's just far too often you just flop nothing and just bleed. But I also think like trying to aggressively three bet, given I don't think people are opening, especially wide, probably isn't good. Maybe this is just a full pre. Maybe just ignore the pot odds we get in because we just like so often we just end up check folding. Maybe the upside isn't enough to counter the downside of just flying too wide from the small with like quite a lot of like weakish suited combinations. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Or maybe we won't. Maybe we won't ever figure it out. I don't work hard enough these days on my game to maybe figure this stuff out. We're definitely going to be 3-betting this guy. 43.19. We're definitely going to be 3, but we're certainly going to be squeezing the jacks. Now, what are we certainly going to be squeezing? Yeah. Yeah, we are. And we're going to run it. And if we lose, I'll be down to nearly like not being able to reload, so maybe we'll end the video early. So spoiler alert, if this video ends in the next 2 minutes, these jacks are about to go down in flames. The video isn't about to end in the next 2 minutes. Brown tag. That's a player I haven't seen for a while because I stopped using the brown tag quite a while ago. Dude up here just randomly posting in the cutoff. You can meet Mr. Green, which will please our friend from we talked about earlier in the video, who's keen to introduce me to Mr. Green. Pocket sevens. I mean, this is theoretically a fold at full ring, no ante. So I don't know if this is a mistake to open. Certainly going to call here. But again, I think this is probably a mistake. I think if we looked at this in GTO Wizard in a non-ante format, I think sevens would just be a fold versus under the gun. So maybe I'm just making way too many of these mistakes and then just getting in spots like this where we're just always folding. We have flop to set up here, which is nice. And a dry board we are going to check. Hope Leaf Dog put some money in the pot. If he does, we're going to go for a pretty small raise. This Leaf Dog's another regular. Sadly, it checks through. This guy now leads. We're going to hope we haven't let him get there with the 4-5, but it doesn't matter. He would have been calling that anyway. But we are going to raise. Try and get value from a queen. A 3-bet the ace-5 suited, I think. Squeezed up here, so he's going to fold the queen 8. Oh, I thought that was ace-5 suited. It's ace-3. Concentrate, Reg. Now we've hit an ace, and I don't know how to play it. We have SPR 2, and we've hit top pair. We'll start with a check, because I clearly don't like my kicker. Here we're just going to be all in. Keep checking here. Queen 10 off. Nice. Keeping checking with the ace-3 and just hope to beat pocket jacks, something like that. Pocket sevens. That was a mistake, I mean, ace-3, ace-5, I don't suppose there's a huge amount of difference. So we've got one batting back. Back in the game. Still losing, I imagine. But we've reduced the loss a little bit. And we've won some extra chips here. Again, this is another spot like ace-7 suited. We're getting an absurd price, but I mean, I'm going to call, but I just have no idea if it's just like torching money. No fucking clue. I just look at the pot odds and like, cool, flop please. Oh, 10, 5, 5. No backdoors. Marvellous. And there's just nothing we can do multi-way. We just cannot try and night bluff. Maybe I'm making too many mistakes from the blinds. I don't like my win rate in the blinds in these games, but it's going to be a lot higher, a lot worse because we're like anteing from them too. Here we have an easy 3-bet with the aces. Bottom right. Could we save the session at the death? Well, we're going to be all in at some point at SPR 3. I'm going to play a 2-street game. So if I go half pot here, he calls. That's going to put 60 odd in the middle. No, we need to go bigger than half. Do that. Leave 1773 in. And we can just shove the turn for pot, just under pot. If he's got a set, he's got us. Not a brick turn. We're going to be all in. Fade the snap, but get the call. That's what we want. We have faded the snap. It's good news. But we didn't get the call. But we'll be grateful. We'll take what it gives us, as we said earlier. Take what it gives us. I think I just bled money again here. Calling half on the turn from a 71 V pip. With the only way of winning the hand is making a flush. Going to go with the 3-bet again against this chap. Not a sizing tell we're doing here. We're just clearing the 75%. We did that last time. We did it this time. His raise size is smaller, so our 3-bet is smaller. He calls again. Gonna go with a range bet. If you raise this, it's going to be interesting because I very much doubt he has any 4x in his range. I think I'm going to be all in here. Like, it's just hard to have 4x in his range. And we're doing okay against Jack X, and we do have some fold equity. Could be a punt, but we're going for it. You might just raise fold Jack X here, for example. As long as he doesn't have a 4, we can't be in bad shape. We can be in rough shape, but not terrible shape. He does fold. Nice. Things are starting to shape up a little bit better with 15 minutes to go. If you're still watching, let me know if you think that Ace King was a punt and try not to be result orientated. My thoughts, I had Phil Ivy's voice running through my head from the opening of the old Full Tilt Poker After Dark videos years ago, where he said something like, I can't remember what it was, but basically he's clearly running a bluff, and he's like, if he doesn't have XX, he didn't say XX, of course, I fancy my chances. And that was just like one of them spots. Like, it's a 3-bet pot. He probably doesn't have much 4x in range. He can certainly be raise folding better hands. And against his raise calls that aren't 4x, we've probably got like 25%, maybe 30% with our backdoor. 7% VPIP here. We are going to see 3. And again, we're going to completely miss. This is a very, very, very recurring theme. Whereas we're just out of position with pretty suited hands and just massively under-realizing. Massively under-realizing. I think it's something I'm probably going to need to work on, because I suspect it might be a pretty big leak. If we are going to do a lot of calling, maybe we just have to figure out ways to try and win more pots. And if I can't do that, then maybe just have to not be as loose. I mean, that one's a standard call, Ace 10 suited, but some of the other ones aren't. Jack 10 suited here against someone looks like a reg with green tags behind. Again, this probably isn't a VPIP all the time. We flop a straight though, which we like, and we get to squeeze it up here with the aces, which we also like. Is my timing too quick there? Did I get too excited? I'm just going to go with an overbet here on the just target top of range. Might try and set up turn shoves. Try getting like 2 pairs here, sets, big combo draws, etc. He hasn't folded yet, so there's some hope. Up against our friend up here, we're just going to flat. We don't want to try and get 170 bigs in pre. Hope he slows down at some point. Can't fold yet, obviously. Oh, man. I just think this is going to be a value way too often. Aces, same hand. King, queen, queen, kings. That could be too nitty. And there could also be a little bit of dynamic going on because we have recently played 2 big pots. So that, I don't know. Tell me what you think about that hand. If you're still watching, please do me a favour and tell me what you think about that hand. Do you think, basically the question is, do you think that is overbluffed or not? Because when he's betting 2x pot on the turn and getting us to fold ace king, I need to be pretty confident that it's a significantly underbluff spot. And I don't know if I am. Go with the ISO with the ace 9 suited here versus the blue tag. Going to do a one and done C bet here. Certainly one VPIP just should have an awful lot of just auto folds, and I think their raising range is just going to be super nutted. How long to go? 10 minutes. How long does it take to sit out? Where's all the buttons at? Yeah, I think we're going to sit out, global sit out next blind. Seems reasonable. Should take us to around finishing time. Then we'll do the maths. I'll report how much I've lost, and we'll call it a day. Do I want to reopen here with queens, or do I want to let this guy in? I'm going to try and flop a set against this guy. Keep this guy's range a little bit wider. 100 bigs deep, I wouldn't have thought twice about 3-betting, but 200 bigs deep. Don't really want to be 3-betting queens. So I don't like playing that deep against relatively good type players. With the queen of spades here, we have to continue on the turn. I just hope he doesn't overbet. think call and just fold rivers unimproved. Mr. Line. Now we have the second nuts. I'm going to wimp out. I don't want to face a raise, so I'm not going to bet. That's the only reason I'm not betting, because I don't want to be raised. I think we just never win. But I'm prone to just saying fuck you and calling. We don't beat value here. He's only repping the ace of clubs with this size. And then bluffs. I don't think people bluff very often on these boards, but, but we have the second nut, so we just have to call and lose. Yep. Shock. Well, we did get some free roll chips. I think that's pretty unavoidable. I mean, we could 3-bet pre. Oh, excuse me. And then he probably folds. I'm not going to pretend I played well this session. Well, that's a lesson, a reminder to myself. When we get deep, leave these tables, because when the big pots get played, like the 400 big blind pots, it's just always fucking nuts versus second nuts or coin flips, etc. Maybe just block fold. That river's better. Maybe no, because how does he have the jack of spades when he bets a turn? Maybe ace jack with the suit reversed. Don't know. Don't know. A little bit disappointed how I played this session. I've enjoyed the session. I've enjoyed playing. I've enjoyed making the video. And I might enjoy it a bit more if we manage to win a stack with these aces right at the death. I like seeing the 4.5x ISO. I like seeing the call. Do it, son. Put it in. What the fuck's our size going to be here? Which size do I like best? 16? No. 22? I guess. And now we have SPR of 1.5. We're just going to bet flop, jam turn. We got 94 bigs. I want to bet about a third of my stack. Over ahead, you would imagine. I think I want to see jam now. I think I'd like to see jam. When he takes this long. Fold. Never mind. Now we won about 35 bigs. Better than the kick up the ass. Ace Jack suited versus a 30/13. Oh, we get one last chance to get a limp raise in with the premium. Gonna call here. Let more people in with the nutmaker. Don't want to reopen the betting and get 4-bet, because then we have to fold our hand, and we're probably folding a decent chunk of equity. We do get to go with the limp raise down here, and we're going to make it this much. the ace jack. Limp raise takes it down. So let's start doing the maths on our stacks. It's definitely been a losing session. I'm confident of that. Just how much damage have we done? Where's my calculator? There she is. It's up on the other screen. So we've got 37, just rounding because it's close enough. 37 plus 25 plus 34 plus 30 plus 37 plus 37 plus whatever we've got in the client, 31. So that equals 231. Lost about $40. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. So that's it. Yeah, we're not going to finish the video off waiting for this table to run out. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. A nice 2-hour video. There'll be another one coming Friday. Probably be the same format, or maybe we'll mix it up and fire some 10-0 zoom in, which is not fun, but maybe we'll do a bit of 10-0 zoom on Friday. Yeah, I'm out of here. Remember, if you are interested in joining the app club, don't forget to join one of the groups listed beneath the video and get in touch with me and I can get you in. Other than that, I'm off. Take care, everybody, and bye-bye for now.